We'll have prayers. Om Agyan Timirandasya Namam Jadashlavaya Jasya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sadam Yena Bhutale Sarvrupadanayam Tadati Swatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Radhakanam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Sarvukam Parajana Sritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sarana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Sudhamine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Shrutinavadi Bhashani Namaste Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Vadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karunamukhindo Dinabandro Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Saptakanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripasindubhevasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Very happy to be amongst all of you. Wonderful practicing devotees here in Navadvip Dham voice. So today we are going to start with this the topic which Mahaprabhu Jasanpura has given me is lessons from Dhruva's achievement. So I think some of you, those are seniors, they might have already attended. This is a game course topic. So mainly this topic is for Nakul group. How many Nakul group devotees are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of you are there. Wonderful. So whenever I ask any question, the 6 devotees can answer first. In case they are not able to answer, then seniors can tell. It's coming? Yes, probably. All of you know this. I hope all of you know the story of like summary story of Dhruva Maharaj's life. So one thing is Dhruva Maharaj, the entire life story. It is very relevant for all of us. If you just go through this, then you will understand that there are a lot of similarities between Dhruva Maharaj and us. So here you can see in this picture that there is a king, there is a queen, and there are two princes, a prince. So we see that this king is nothing but, what is his name? Uttanapad. Uttanapad. So he was the king, and so king of the whole world. And so that time the kings, one king only used to rule all over. So this past time happened in Satyuga. So that time Uttanapad was king. So this comes in the hierarchical structure. Descendants become the king. So after them, maybe one of the sons will become the king after Uttanapad. So only thing is Uttanapad had two wives. One was Suruchi and another Suniti. So as you see, the name suggests Ruchi means one very beautiful or one very attractive. So Suruchi, she was very beautiful by her external beauty was very great. And another wife was Suniti. Suniti means morality. So Suniti was more morality, and but as the world goes, Uttanapad was more attracted to Suruchi than Suniti. So and obviously the attention was given to more to this wife Suruchi, and that's why she became very proud. So so Suruchi had a son who is Uttama, who is sitting on the lap of Uttanapad, and Suniti, she had a son who was Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva. So he was the son. He was only 5 years old, not very big. 5 years old, you can just see one. Even they don't even start going to school also. Very small, tender age. So once he saw Dhruva Maharaj, when he was there in the kingdom, he saw that Uttama is sitting on the lap of his father, and Uttama was small. He was sitting. So then Dhruva Maharaj felt, oh, I should also sit. And he is a small boy, so he also wanted to sit on his father's lap. So as soon as he went, immediately, so even Uttanava did not receive him so affectionately. And contrary, the Suruchi, she came on the spot and she started chastising Dhruva Maharaj. He said, oh, dear boy, what are you doing? How can you sit on the lap of, even though you are the son of your father, but still, because I am more dear to his father, so you are not taken birth from my womb, so you cannot sit. So that is what she wanted to say. And she even said that, basically she said that if you sit, that means you will become the king. So I don't want you to become the king. My son will become the king because I am more dear to the Uttanapad. So that's how she insulted. And Dhruva, he was small boy, but at the same time he was Kshatriya. So when Kshatriya, it is like insult is worse than death. So even though he was small, but that insult was very, very piercing for his heart. And it was very painful. You can see he is crying also. So that's what happened. So so basically, she had so much pride, and Uttanabad was a henpecked husband. Henpecked husband means he was like a gulam of his own wife. He couldn't say anything, even though the wife was telling so much, and his own son Dhruva was insulted. He did not even speak a word, and that felt Dhruva Maharaj felt even more bad when Uttanabad did not even speak a word. So that's how he became very much disappointed, because if somebody chastises, you can go to father. But here, father is only not speaking anything. That means he is also agreeing for the chastisement. So then he was running towards his mother. So, who was the mother of Dhruva Maharaj? Suniti. And also it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that hot tears were flowing from Dhruva Maharaj's eyes. So there are two types of tears. One is cold tears, which comes in like sometimes in separation or separation from some beloved, or when one is very happy. So that time cold tear comes. And this is hot tear. When it comes, when somebody insults you or somebody chastises you, that time these tears come. So obviously, so there are many lessons which are going to come. So we will take some part of the past time. We will discuss that, and then we will take some lessons. Then there are some quiz also. Some one or two questions will be there. You have to answer that, and then further we will take some part of the past time, then lessons, and then quiz like that. Yeah, so at this time, Dhruv Maharaj, then he was very, very disappointed. Hot tears were coming. He didn't understand what to do. So he immediately ran and went to his mother, Suniti. And then Suniti, she was very good lady. She pacified Dhruv Maharaj. And then she said that what your stepmother says is actually true. There is no, because your father loves her so much. and for me, doesn't even consider me. So I'm like no one for him. So that's why what she said that you have to take birth from her womb. That is correct. Otherwise, you can't become the king of this future king. You cannot become because she is the most dear wife of Uttanapa. So then one thing is, so then he said, no, but I want a kingdom which is greater than my father also. Not even my father, I want kingdom greater than my the Brahma also. That much ambition he had. So he has a very, very big ambition. Because when what happens when you are insulted, then your revengeful tendency comes. You feel I should take some revenge against him. And then you go into that direction. But one good thing Dhruva Maharaj did is he went to Suniti. He did not just try to do something on his own. He went to Suniti, he took the advice, and she told that, okay, if you want the kingdom, then only one person can provide. Who is that? Supreme Lord. He said, you approach Supreme Lord and nothing is impossible for Supreme Lord. What you are saying is impossible, but if you approach Supreme Lord, then everything is possible. So that he can only help. And another thing she said is, she said, don't harbor any malice for the one who has insulted you, or don't feel harm for them. Like sometimes if somebody does something to us, we immediately feel, oh, something should happen to him also. मेरे साथ बुरा है इसके साथ भी कुछ होना चाहिए. That is what people are like. Once Radhesham Pro was telling me, one two neighbors were there. So in the night, in one of the neighbors' home, the thief came to the neighbor's home and to their home. So then there was one lady. She immediately got up, and the thief had a knife or something. He said, "Give all the whatever costly items are there. Give everything to me. Otherwise, I will kill you." So she goes, and one necklace was there, very costly necklace, and she gives to the thief. And the thief takes it, and he was about to go, and then she calls, "Hey, just wait a minute. My neighborhood lady, we both purchased the necklace same time. You take one from that house." Then the thief goes and takes one more from that house. So like that, we see that people want to, like, there is some kind of envy. So if something bad happened to me, something bad should happen with the other person also. That's what people think. And what to speak if somebody has insulted you? You may even feel bad for him, or you want to do something so that it will hurt him. But here we see that that is called revengeful mentality. But that was there in Dhruva Maharaj. But by the guidance of Suniti, he understood that this is not good. So if you want kingdom, you take it, but don't harbor any malice for your stepmother. So that's what guidance was given by Suniti. And then she glorified the Lord. She said that, oh, Lord is so merciful. He is the ocean of love. And if you approach him, he will fulfill all your desires. So one good thing is that lesson is that will come ahead, that how when we approach Lord, even with material desire, it is still good. Why? That also will come ahead. So now here at this point, we are going to take first lesson. So here you can see this this picture, and then so here Dhruva Maharaj is very much disappointed, crying, and then he goes to Suniti, is sitting on the lap and taking advice from Suniti. And this photo was only this one was available. So this is how he went. And Suniti was a very good character lady, as you say, morality. Her name only suggests she was very kind, and that's how she could direct her son to the Supreme Lord. She did not say, "Oh, she did. The stepmother did like this. I will see how." And she also comes, and both are fighting, catching each other's hair. Both are fighting among each other. Suniti and Suruchi. My son will become him. My son both. So that didn't happen. Suniti was very, very mature. So she nicely guided her son. And then we see that Dhruva started for the forest. So at this time we will see the lesson 1. So this is more appropriate for this lesson. So passionate mood guided by goodness. So this is the lesson 1 we can learn from here. That we all have passionate mood, but that passionate mood should be guided by goodness. So we see that the situation was very insulting, revengeful attitude was there. and that revengeful attitude leads to hurting the friend person. So in our case, even if somebody insults us, no, still we may also feel bad out of our ego and other things. But still we can't take this kind of approach, going to the forest and praying to the Lord, and we can't do that. We will say, oh, I don't want, I want kingdom this one only. I don't want to go to Supreme Lord. Here only you sort it out. You tell to the Father and I want it. Something like that we may try to do. Because we don't have that Kshatriya spirit. Kshatriya spirit means it is very great. So Kshatriya is somebody who even blood comes, he will not be fearful. Like, and it is very, they are very brave, courageous. They can do anything. For them, determination is very strong. So Dhruva Maharaj, so in this lesson, one thing we can see is Dhruva Maharaj's response, that he did not immediately respond to Suruchi or Tanapad, and he did not start shouting there. He came to his mother. So that was one lesson we can learn, that whenever such situation happens in our life, we don't directly respond to some different person. Because when what happens is, when this kind of situation is there, somebody is insulting or somebody is chastising, immediately we respond, then it is like that is going to increase. That whatever that situation is happening, that is going to increase even more. So when we go to somebody who can guide us at that time, that is very wonderful. So here Dhruva Maharaj immediately went to the superiors. And if we see modern scenario, so he was not, even though he was revengeful, but that revenge did not come immediately. He first took guidance and then accordingly took the steps and went ahead. So modern scenario, if you see, there is so much revengeful tendency in people, especially in Kali Yuga. What is the characteristics of Kali Yuga? Quarrel and hypocrisy. So quarrel is the characteristics only is like that. So like one devotee was telling that especially UP Bihar, people are always like this. One hand is always as soon as you punch me, I will punch you 10 times. So they are always in the mood of fighting. So and we see that in all Kali Yuga also, this tendency is very much. Like in way you are traveling somewhere, vehicle little bit because traffic is so much. Sometimes you are on speed and sometimes you have to slow. It is there are chances that you may hit other vehicle. As soon as the hit happens, little bit it may be, immediately that person comes, this person comes, and they start fighting. All the other people are even more traffic jam happens. But these people are not worried about them. My vehicle, you have brought this damage, now you have to pay. And they will fight, and almost it will go for 1 hour. Police will come, and then he has to give some thousands of rupees, and that's how it will be settled. So this we see almost every day somewhere this situation happens. And so this is how, and these are different places it happens. Like one place, one boy and girl, they had a relationship. So, and this boy, because of relationship with the girl, he started neglecting his studies. He started neglecting his all career and everything, because that is the blind lust. One forgets everything. So then he was after her, and then he just talking to her on phone for a long time and different things. When the exam came, he did not study much and he failed in the exam. So then later, when the girl came to know that he has failed, the girl started neglecting him, and then he didn't understand what happened. Then suddenly, after some days, he saw the girl with some other boy, and then he was very much felt insulted. What kind of this? How can? And he tried to convince her. She said, "No, no, you are useless now. You are not doing any. You don't have much good this academics, and you will not get good job also. So I have got good partner. I am going with him." So then he felt so disappointed and he was so discouraged. That time he one day he took a gun. He shot her. Said, "If you can't be mine, then nobody else can be yours." So then he shot her, and then after that he said, "What is the use of my life?" He shot himself also. So this is the passionate mode. In the passion, when we have this revengeful tendency and we are in too much passion, so we take immediate action, and that passion will lead to destruction. So we see that anything you have to create also, it requires passion, and destruction, of course, ignorance is required. But in passionate mode, one actually goes to destruction only, because especially when it is not guided by goodness. So when we see that, so such things are very common. If you see the many people in news channels and these papers and all these things are every day you will see this person has killed him. And even in the family also, brothers have killed their own brothers. The son has killed his mother or father. That all these things have happened. So this is what is Kali Yuga, which is very fastly approaching. So whenever such situations happen, when we are in too much passion and we want to do something, immediate action against someone, so we have to understand that think constructively. Something we have to think positively that what should be done in this situation. Immediately that thing should come up. Like this thing comes no. Like somebody basically we should not immediately respond like some, but you may say that okay, when I am going in a train, somebody else is sitting in my seat, then should I just tolerate? Should I not shout at him and tell him to move aside and like that? So we have to see who is that person. Otherwise we shout and he starts beating us and then things go in different directions. We have to see. Sometimes we can just tell and people may just get up and they go to some other seat. Sometimes once we went, the person was sleeping. The other devotees they there start trying to wake him up, but he was not getting up only. It was seems that he was pretending or something. The people devotees were fully shaking his body, but he was not like fully aloof. So then we called TC. As soon as TC came, then TC shouted on him, and then immediately got up, winded things, and he went. So we see that such kind of situations, instead of taking the thing in our hand, we can call the TC or some situation wherein we don't have to go and get into that thing. So we have to think constructively that whenever such situations come, what should I do? Another thing is, you know, that capsular story. Yeah, capsular monkey and capsular. You know, no? So he had a basket full of caps and he was going from one place to another. So in between he was very tired and he slept under a tree. And when he got up, he saw that all monkeys are having his caps. The basket was empty. Then he thought where it has gone. Then he saw that all monkeys they were wearing the caps. So now, if you see, if a passionate person is there, what will be his response? Hmm? Beat, yeah. Yeah, chase also monkey. Basically, he will become so angry. He will take some stone and he will start beating the monkeys, hitting the monkeys. So is that right? What happened because of that? No? Yeah, everybody ran away to different places. Now, whatever caps were there, it is impossible to get now. They are gone far away. So, the passionate person, it is like that. Ignorance, if somebody is ignorant, how will he react? No, he is ignorance person. How he will live? He will be in lot of anxiety. Hmm? No. Yes. Anyone? No. People? He will lament. He will start crying. Oh, my caps are gone. Caps are gone. He will not do anything. He basically is just crying. So, but what a person in goodness he will do? You know the story. What happened? Any Nakul to prove? Yes. No. Yeah, correct. Mimicry. Correct. So they have the tendency to imitate monkeys. So what he does, he understands, okay, monkeys have tendency to imitate. So he immediately removes his cap and puts in basket. All the monkeys they remove the cap and put in basket. He takes the basket and goes on. This is a simple solution. Only thing one has to think very constructively. So in this case of Dhruva Maharaj also, same thing happened. He could do that. So he was guided by, so he could do that means he went to Suniti, who actually guided him in goodness. He understood that, okay, the good thing is done is he went to the Suniti and Suniti guided him very nicely. So now the second lesson comes in this first lesson only. There are two lessons. One is Dhruva's response, one is another is Suniti's response. So Suniti's response also, like initially also I told, she did not go and start fighting with Suruchi. She did not do that. She said, this is the truth. Because what has happened, no one can change the truth. This is what your father is liking her much. So it's obvious that this thing, he will not let you become the single. Because even if Dhruva is elder, still because Uttanapad likes the other son of Suruchi, So that's why obviously he will become the king. So that is true. If you want to become the king, then same thing. But this Suruchi told that he has to die, take home from. Basically, you can't become the king. That's what she was telling. So that's why one should not have unnecessarily angry. So in Vishnu Sahasranam, there is one verse come. न क्रोधो न मत्सर्य न लोभो न शुभामति भवन्ति कृत पुण्यानां भक्तनाम पुरुषोत्तमे. Basically, one should not have na krodham, na matsaryam, na lobho, na shubhamati. That means one should not unnecessarily become angry, one should not unnecessarily become envious, and one should not unnecessarily become lobo. Lobo means greed. One should not be greedy unnecessarily, and na shubhamati means one should not have evil, negative intentions or evil thoughts. So that should not be there. So that is how, and especially devotee should not have this thing. Unnecessarily, one should not get into any of these things. So Dhruva, even though it was there inside, he did not take it out. He first took guidance from Suniti. This is the first lesson we understand, that whenever such situation comes in our life, we should approach our superiors immediately for guidance, and we should ask them, how should I react in this situation? And now the responsibility comes of superior. How should he guide the subordinate? So Suniti's response we saw. So basically, it is senior's responsibility, one who is guiding, that his guidance should be given in such a way that the person becomes more surrendered to the Supreme Lord. So we see in this scenario, Dhruva Maharaj, he made him go more closer to the Lord. He said that, okay, you want it, don't go in the outside world and try to become big. I will get this kingdom, again kill these people. Then that's what also used to happen. People used to kill another party and then take their kingdom, and then like that they used to capture many kingdoms like that. So he said, don't do that. What you do is you approach Supreme Lord, so he can only fulfill your desire. And then further we see that. So now the story goes ahead where he starts going towards the he starts going to the forest, and then so whenever you want to approach Lord, can you approach Lord directly? No, you need spiritual master. When Lord saw that okay, this devotee is coming, even before he starting meditation only, Lord understood that this Dhruva is very determined and he is going to capture me. So only thing, he needs some guidance. So for that, Lord only inspired Narad Muni to go there and guide Dhruva Maharaj. And here Narad Muni comes. Okay, one more lesson remains. Okay, it comes. Yeah, one more lesson remains. This second lesson. The first lesson was, anyone can tell? Passionate mood should be guided by goodness. So that is the first thing we learned, that whenever we are in passion, it should be guided by goodness. We see the counseling part here. The Sunit is counseling his son Dhruva Maharaj. The second lesson comes here is, Suruchi brought out worst out of Dhruva, whereas Suniti brought out best out of Dhruva. So Suruchi, by her such kind of behavior, what she brought out from Dhruva? Anger, hot tears, and what is? But because of the way she dealt with Dhruva Maharaj, it was very insulting. So what came out of Dhruva Maharaj because of that? Envy came out, greed, anger, revengeful attitude. All this worst came out of Dhruva. So Dhruva was a small boy, very good, everything was going nicely. But because of her insult, everything bad came out of him. So Suruchi brought out worst out of Dhruva, whereas Suniti brought out best out of Dhruva. So we see as soon as Dhruva went with that hot tears and very whole body was shaking, and he went in front of Suniti. Suniti guided her very nicely. She told that okay, this is the truth and you can't do anything much. If you want to get, then you go to the Supreme Lord. So immediately he felt pacified. And then good qualities came, he got the determination that I should approach the Supreme Lord. So then he went. So Suniti brought out best out of Dhruva. So now here one practical point comes for us is even like parents also, the parents, it is a very big responsibility to grow the children. So even it depends on them that when parents are uh, growing their children, how they behave with the children. Sometimes they just chastise, oh or they sometimes just nothing happens, then just slap the child. So then that will just bring out, you can see also, any person if you chastise and do like this, no, nobody will, and you say, you do this, and he doesn't do and chastise you, slap him. After that, 100% he will not do. So there is no possibility that he will do it. So basically, you have to be very careful even in dealing with them, how you can bring out best. So basically, like even our classes also, even if some things have to be told, so we see that okay, we in the classes or in the books you can see Prabhupada books and all. So then it becomes very easy for us to get that same thing. But if you chastise and tell, oh, you do it, you do this, then the person is put off, he will never do. Even if he do, he will do it just with some kind of uh, revenge or some kind of feeling, negative feeling, but he will not be so happy with that. So it is a very big responsibility on parents. And even in our things also, how we deal with each other. Like all of you are now staying in voice, how we deal with each other. So one may just sometimes some one devotee may say that okay, oh nobody cares for me, you know, everybody is into his own things, nobody cares for me, nobody loves me. So what he should do in this scenario? He is thinking that nobody, it's not correct. People devotees love, but somehow he is not getting any attention or he is not getting love or care. What is the problem? Yeah. Yeah, but what is the problem from his side? He is thinking problem is other side, but actually something wrong is his side.
He should check with himself that if he is giving proper love to others.
Yeah, very correct. Very good. So he actually, if we don't care for someone, we don't love someone, they will also not do that. So how we behave with others, that is only going to come back. That is only reflecting back to us. So we may think, oh, this person is so cruel, he doesn't act with me properly. Because my dealings are also like that. He also deals with me in the same way. So how we deal with others, that is what is going to bring out of them. So everybody has two types of tendencies. One is animalistic tendencies, one is angel tendencies. You see, when you approach some boys in the hostel, when you are going and telling them about Krishna consciousness, some are very pious, and they immediately start respecting you. They start hearing from you. You experience that. There are some boy whom you doesn't know somewhere, and sometimes he may insult you. You may say, "Oh, how this boy is so cruel," because I have not invested anything to him. Because his nature is like that. It is like he is. As soon as I start behaving with him in a nice words and nice care, he will also transform. So the same applies to even inside voice also, how we deal with each other, even the other devotees, and that is what is going to come to us. So sometimes our like some devotees, they are by nature they are very like their sound is very high or very dominating. So once in one voice there was one morning program in church. He was like, it's not that he was very like angry mood or something, but his nature was only like that. So when I used to tell somebody something Maha Mantra, it used to appear like, Arey, he's telling, like beating me or commanding me or something like that. So devotees used to feel very much insulted. Later, when we checked, it up, understood that he doesn't have that. He just spoke in a casual way, but the other person felt in that. So, so still we have to change our tone, the way we speak, and then we see that other person reciprocates accordingly. If somebody is a manager and he tells, "Oh, you rascal, you do this," he will say, "Get lost. I am not going to do." He will go some other place. He will not do only. So we have to approach devotees also in a way that will bring out best out of them. So yeah, so we may blame people, but first we have to see. So when Suruchi brought out of birth, this lesson is for us how we should deal. We should not deal like Suruchi. We should deal like Suniti. We should be like Suniti with those morality principles. So Suniti's advice was the saintly advice. Because basically we want everyone to become happy. So when Prabhupada it was asked that what is the goal of your movement, what he said? Said Sarva Sukhini Bhavanti. That means I want the whole world to be happy. That is the purpose of our movement. We want everyone to become happy, happily stay, happily practice, become devotees, and go back to Godhead. So that is the purpose of our life. So now you see here that this thing has happened. So the first lesson was passionate mood guided by goodness, and the second lesson was bringing best out of someone. So Suniti brought best out of Dhruva, and one more lesson we learn, opposite lesson also we learn. We should not bring worst out of the person. So he started for the forest, and then he met Narad Muni. Narad Muni came there. And then Narad Muni was also astonished that a small 5 years boy, like recently I was at home, I saw some small relatives and all. I saw one boy was just 7 years old, but the understanding is very like you can't not much understanding also. Going to the forest is far away place. They don't even go to school at the age of 5. He has gone to forest, and the mother, of course, mother said, and he immediately ran. Because when mother said that, okay, you go to the Supreme Lord. Next question Dhruva Maharaj asked is, where is God? Where can I find you? And Suniti says, saintly persons find God in forest. So immediately Dhruva Maharaj left for the forest, without even thinking where I will stay, my food, my accommodation, nothing. So everything, he was like fully dependent. That is the Kshatriya determination. So we see even you have seen that, you have heard, no, that story of a bird determination. One bird was there, her eggs were taken by the ocean. When she was on the bank of the ocean, all the eggs were taken back. The ocean waves come like this, and then again they go back. All the eggs were taken, and the bird was very much, oh my babies, what will happen? And she started requesting, begging to the ocean, please give me my eggs back, please give me. And the ocean was just laughing, did not even, he said, what this bird? He did not even just care for it. So then after some time begging, she said, if you don't give my eggs back, I will dry up the ocean. And still the ocean was not, how the small bird is going to drive the ocean. So then she started taking one drop and going far away and putting there. Again, she used to come with this big, small, big. She could take one drop and going far and putting there. So she did it for quite long time. And seeing such a determination, who got attracted? Garuda. Garuda saw from top is this small bird so determined that she is trying to drive the ocean, and she is not getting tired and not feeling that, oh, this is impossible or something. Then Garuda said, I should help. And then he went and he told the ocean that if you don't give her eggs back, then I will die you up. And then immediately the eggs were given back to the bird, the sparrow. The sparrow took the birds and went. So this is how we see that much more than determination Dhruva Maharaj had, that he could go at the tender age into the forest. So when Narad Muni met Dhruva Maharaj, first thing Narad Muni says that, oh, you are such a small boy. Why do you take so seriously the insult happening? Better you go back to home. That is what Narad Muni said. And Dhruva Maharaj said, see, if you are going to help me to find out God, then tell me something. Don't tell me to go back. Like that, he also said. And Narada was astonished. That small boy, he is having so much determination. So then Narada Muni says, okay, you sit and I will tell you how to approach God. So this is how the Dhruva Maharaj was sitting, and he got the complete idea from Narada Muni in how to approach the Supreme Lord. Yeah, so now there are two activities there. Yes. So these two are there. Dhruva wanted Narada, so you can just take 1 minute, especially Nakul group devotees. So Dhruva wanted Narada. So 4 options are there. You have to take the best one. Both the questions, first and second.
One day we can read the question. Read the question.
Dhruva wanted Narada, option A, to teach him that path of pure devotional service to free his heart from material desires. B. To teach him how to give up all material attachments and surrender to Krishna. C. To teach him that path where his material desires will not be ruled out, but he can achieve his goal of getting a kingdom greater than Brahma. D. To learn from Narada how not to insult seriously in his life.
How not to take.
How not to take insult seriously in his life.
Yes, answer. C. Yes. No. D. D is got to learn from Narada how not to take himself seriously in life. D will come because when he went to Narada was telling that you should not take insult seriously, but Dhruva denied. He said, I don't want that. What I want is, yeah, it comes to teach him that path where his material desires will not be ruled out, but he can achieve his goal of getting a kingdom greater than Brahma. Sometimes people also come to spiritual life with this motive, and when they see, when you tell that, oh, na janam, na dhanam, na sundarim, so it is like very shocking for them. They say, oh, what is this? You are ruling out my material desires. That's what Narad Muni wanted to do, and Dhruva Maharaj denied it. He said, I want a kingdom not only greater than my father, but greater than Brahma also. And you are ruling out that. I don't want your advice. That was that's why we have to be also we have to understand that when we are preaching, people have a lot of material desires. So if we immediately ruled out no, so then they feel this is not the place for me. I have to go because I have my desires. I have to fulfill it. I will go to some other place. So then we have to be very careful in how to approach the people, and we have to okay you and that's how we approach no. Okay, you want this, no problem. You continue that, but you also chant Hare Krishna mantra. 1 round, 2 round, you attend our device sessions, and in sessions we may tell also. But personally, if he says, "Oh, what is this? I heard," no problem. You continue. You just follow your chant. Now come to 2 rounds. Then eventually, when he becomes sincere and more advanced, he will himself give up. Like sometimes we see that the first year boys, they are when we go to the hostel to call them, they are doing they have gone to play some cricket or some sports here there, and they say, oh, I will come Sunday, I will come. Then Sunday, but then he has to miss his sports and all. So one day, 2 times he will sometimes he will come, sometimes he will not come. But eventually, when he get the test of the coming for the program and all, then he loses those tests and then he leaves that. I know one boy was there like that in our preaching and corporate preaching when we were doing. He used to go for playing basketball. Then Sunday evening when we used to keep program, he never used to go. And then when we keep Monday, I think Radheshampru, he was available only in afternoon. So we kept the program in afternoon. So this boy, he said, oh, today I can come because I have to anyway go in the evening. And he came, he liked the session very much. Then we thought, okay, we will start another batch. We started another batch in the afternoon. He started regularly coming. And slowly, then when they shifted to evening, he even continued evening also. I said, what about your basketball? He said, no, that is not so much pleasurable. No, this is more much better. I am getting nice association, prasadam. So he started coming regularly for the program. Eventually shifted into the center, became 16 rounds. So so that's how we see that the desires will go. But immediately you say, no, no, basketball, what is this? It's a Maya. Why you are playing this? What is the use of? You start in the first meeting only, you start telling him, no use basketball, whichever play you, it is most important in spiritual life. And how much ever you tell, he is not going to listen because that time his desire is basketball. He wants to play that. You can't just immediately break it and tell him to come for the program. So you have to give him the test. So maybe you can just meet him informally, give him the knowledge, give him books, and eventually when he gets the test, he will start coming, and then he himself will give it. We don't have to even tell the person that you give it up. So that's what here happens. And the second question. Second is right. Second also you can do.
Some people
Shivan.
feel some people feel it is impossible to approach God because they are not able to renounce the material pleasure of life. What would be suggested? Option A. Those who have material desire will have awarded those desires and they will get stuck in the material world. Therefore, why devotees give up all material desires before praying to Lord? Option B. Those who have material desire and still wish to meet the Lord, they are unqualified because sense gratification and Krishna consciousness go ill together. Option C. They can approach Lord still as Lord will bestow their desires and purify their hearts and award them love of God. Option D. Those who have material desires are not barren, but they should not maintain those desires. Instead, they approach God, they should give up all material desires to attain love of God.
Yeah. Which option is correct?
D. D.
No. D. Yes. Yes. C. Yes. C only. C. C and D. Some are saying C, some are saying D. Okay. They can approach Lord still, and Lord will bestow their desires and purify their hearts and award them love of God. And D, those who have material desires are not bad, but they should not maintain those desires. Instead, they should give up all materials to attain love of God. Yes, why do you think D is the answer?
Because those who have material desires are not kept away from God. They are also like we can take them to the God, and as they meet, but they should not be maintained with that they should not
Maintain material desire.
As they approach the God, slowly they can get detached from all those material desires.
Correct.
Finally, they can attain the love of God.
But in D, it is told something else. They said if you have instead, as they approach God, they should give up all material desire to attain love of God. If you want to attain love of God, you have to remove.
Because detaching from all the material desires at a time will be difficult, so but slowly we can.
Yeah, slowly is good option. That is option C. That they can approach Lord still, as Lord will bestow their desires and purify their heart. But whereas in D, it is said that they should not maintain. See, those who have material desires are not bad, but they should not maintain those desires. Instead, as they approach God, they should give up all material desires to attain love of God. Of course, it's yeah, here it is said, see, those who have material desires are not bad from worshipping the Supreme God. In the contrary, they are encouraged by approaching the Lord who can bestow the fulfillment of their desires. So that's why C answer comes correct. One is not discouraged. So just because somebody has material desires, one is not discouraged from approaching Krishna just because his thinking is material. God is the supreme benefactor of everyone, and one who approaches the Lord must be considered pious because he has gone to God for that which he desires. So what you said is correct. One should not maintain the material desires afterwards. But initially, even if somebody has desire, it's not that like all of us have desires. So that doesn't mean that now all of us now better go to the karmis only. We don't practice spiritual life. So the D, they want to say that one should give up material desires altogether to attain the love of God. So that's why the correct answer comes with C, where one can still approach the Lord. So here one last lesson I will share. So here we see that whatever kind of desire one has, so there is one verse comes, akama sarva kamo va moksha kamam udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajanta purusha param. So that means akama, in case you have some desire, akam. If you have some desire, or akama, no, sorry, akam means if you don't have any desire, somebody says, okay, I don't have any desire to do anything. So still you approach Lord. Akama. Somebody says, I have a lot of desires, sarva kama, still you should also approach the Lord. Akama, sarva kama, moksha kama. If you want to get liberation, still you approach the Lord. So akama, sarva kama, moksha kama, udarati, tivrena bhakti yogena, yanta purusha param. So whatever kind of, whether you have desire, whether you don't have desire, still approach the Supreme Lord. So don't approach the demigods. That is another thing. Somebody may say, oh, I want material desires and I am little afraid to approach the Supreme Lord Krishna. I'll approach some demigod, maybe Lord Shiva or Lord Ganesha. They'll bestow me the. He said, yeah, they will bestow you. It is like, suppose you go to the shop and they have all different fried items. Sometimes the pakoda or something they are frying. The same oil they will use till the time it becomes totally sticky and not gone. Almost 1 week or 10 days they will use the same oil. Same oil they will use, put it. So that is like very dangerous. So refined oil is already dangerous. In that also, when it is used for too long time, too many times, then it becomes very dangerous for our health. But so material desires are like that. But still, the smell of pakoda and other things, person will be attracted to that, and he goes and the shop person says, okay, take it, give me this much money. And you may think, oh, shop person is so good. The mother says, no, you should not take from this shop person. He is having his oil is so bad for health. And he may think that, oh, what is this? My desire is she is not fulfilling. The mother is not. But mother says, okay, you come here. I will give you with fresh oil. I will make you healthy pakoda. So that you can take. So that is what when we approach the Supreme Lord, that's what happens. So when Dhruva Maharaj also, when ultimately he went, we see that his all material desires were purified. So it was purified, and then he said, I don't want any kingdom. And then Narad, the Lord says that, oh, anyway, now you don't have any desire, so I am giving you kingdom. If you had desire, then I would not have given. So because his desires were completely purified, then he was given that kingdom. What is that kingdom? Anyone knows? No? Dhruva Lok. Where it comes? Which like position? Poster. Above Brahmaloka. So that was his ambition, no? So such big ambition. So sometimes we may have a question that if some boy who has too big ambitions, is he allowed to practice Krishna consciousness? Yeah, yes, he is allowed. Basically, ambition means what? You want to achieve a lot of material things. And all material things are like you get a degree, it's like 1 0. You get a PhD, another 0. Like that, you increase your number of zeros. It's like that achievements in material achievements are like gathering a 0 0 0 like that. But as what happens when you put 1 in front, then you see. No? Yeah, it has such a value. Now 1 0 is only 10. But if he has this much material achievement and he has Krishna connected, then all his material achievements become so valuable. It becomes in crores and crores of billions and billions of rupees it will become. So we see that when as soon as you connect anything to Krishna, then your things become very valuable. So same thing happens to uh, so this person, this is not bad from coming to spiritual life just because he has too many ambitions. We say, okay, you keep ambitions, but you connect Krishna also. You chant, you start practicing spiritual life, and we see that there are in ISKCON there are so many devotees. Like this Alfred Ford was there. He's the grandson of Henry Ford, the owner of Ford company. So he's having he's a billionaire. So materially wealthy. He is born in America and all kinds of things were there. But still he got attracted to Srila Prabhupada and he got initiated. He started chanting 16 rounds, got initiated. Prabhupada initiated him. What is his name? Amrish Das. And he became one of the most big pioneers for this TOEP project. He gave a big amount for TOEP project. And this it is the dream of Srila Prabhupada that this Temple of Vedic Planetarium should come. So last 50 years, things are going on till every year they say, okay, next year it will inaugurate. So ISKCON has become so much established, but the headquarters is still under construction. Next 2024 it will be inaugurated. Mostly this year, I think. I think Narasimha wing and then slowly they will start. So we see that all ambitions are correct, but the ambition should be guided by those like passion guided by goodness. So when this passionate person he comes in guidance of all the devotees, he can do he can become a big leader of ISKCON. So ambitious persons are, so Radheshyam Prabhu once was telling that when his IIT exams were there, sometimes he did not even sleep. He used to do so much studies, even to getting into IIT after coming also. One may say, oh, so studious boy may not become devotee. But we see now Prabhu is one of the main, now is Radheshyam Prabhu is in the GBC nomination. Very soon Prabhu will become GBC. GBC is like a governing body commission, like ultimate managing authority of ISKCON. So Gaurang Prabhu, one IIT is already there. Radheshyam Prabhu also now very soon, mostly by the end of this year, he may also become. So this is what we see, that ambitions are not like wrong in Krishna consciousness. One can have ambition, but with that ambition, one should also practice Krishna consciousness. Then everything is correct. So thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. So the rest of the part, one of the remaining session will take, maybe Mahaprabhu Jadam will take that. Very clear.
We request Vaishnav Sambhu to come again to take that remaining part. We like to thank him for wonderfully explaining to us different lessons from the achievements of Dhruva. And nobody is barred from approaching Krishna. Our